What's up, y'all? I'm back for another video. Sorry if you're hearing music in the background, fucking neighbors. But today, I figured I haven't done a fixing in a while, so today I am gonna attempt to fix the Jeepers Creepers franchise, and then in the evening, I'm gonna talk about why I don't really like Miles. And I figure perfect time since what Insomniac just did, basically saying Miles is gonna be their Spider-Man. So just kind of why not go into it? Because I've never really, I mean, I talked about it a little bit, but I've never like gone into it like that. So I'll be doing that. Should be later this evening. And I guess before we get started, relatively what I got going on this week. Tomorrow, gonna be doing my 2007 list. It's already made, and it'll probably be during the day, like most likely maybe this time tomorrow, pending on if I have work or not. But we'll see. And then Tuesday, I will be doing. Um, I know it probably would be X-Men 2, but I want to, since I just watched Nefarious on Friday, I'll review Nefarious on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, gonna be, I'll for sure do The Prowler. Thursday will be Annabelle, and then Friday will be X-Men First Class. So that at least is what I got going on until Friday. I'll figure out. Actually, no. Wednesday is a movie, not The Prowler. I'll probably do The Prowler like over that weekend, maybe. Even though that Thanksgiving movie is coming out, so we'll see. But I will be doing that movie Steve recommended me, actually, his friend of mine. So I'll be doing that tomorrow. Not tomorrow, on Wednesday. So, anyway. So, how I would fix the Jeepers Creepers franchise is pretty simple. You gotta go back to the roots. You gotta disregard three. You gotta disregard 3 and Reborn. Like, you gotta disregard those, because those, especially Reborn, I think really hurt the franchise to where it's seen as a joke now. So, you gotta disregard those. So do not. Also, just basically go with the premise 23 years, every 23 days. So you just jump ahead of time, make this like the real Jeepers Creepers 3. Bring it back to that tone of that first one, because that first Jeepers Creepers was something like new. That wasn't like we hadn't seen something like that yet. So we got to go back to that guy, Toad. The Creeper needs to be scary again. I think that's like the biggest one. One of the things about the newer Creeper movies is how much they just make the Creeper not scary. Like, he's not scary. 3 and Reborn, he's basically a joke. You remember that? Like, I'm gonna do a scene kind of like, if you remember, in the second one, where he was smelling their fear. Like, that was such a good scene. So we're gonna bring the Creeper to that kind of, make it like the real Jeepers Creepers 3. And because it's not attached to a character, you can just jump 23 years and just have a new core group of characters that the Creeper is going after. But one thing I really love about the second one is that character who's hunting it. Make it relative to that guy is your main character. Who's waiting for the Creeper to come back, and then you do something with that. That would actually be pretty cool. And yeah, it would be nice if you can have someone go into the lore of the Creeper, and then maybe you have like your, I guess, teenage kind of characters who are just there to be your teenage victims, right? And he has to protect them, you know? Maybe some of them are his kids who sneak out one day and something happens and they all get attacked by the Creeper. My thing is, we gotta make the Creeper scary again. That's the big one. because he was so scary in those first two movies. That was like that scene where he gets Derry in the end of the first one is so fucking scary. It's like, or even the scene where Derry and his sister first see the creeper. They have to hide from him. One of the things that I think the third one did was they had him rely way too much on his truck to where it was a Batmobile. I'm not saying I'm not gonna have the truck in it, but I like that the second one he was kind of just he was more of a monster. I prefer that, like when he's flying around grabbing kids. I didn't need the fucking truck. The truck was cool, but to be honest, I didn't necessarily need it. So I'm actually gonna probably not have it in mind. Maybe in some scenes, but largely he's gonna be using. I prefer him more as a monster. I think that could work if you go back into that style. Have some nice tense, have some good characters. I think we can save this franchise. I'll reiterate, you gotta disregard Jeepers Creepers 3 and Reborn. Those don't count. And that's really all you need to do. Like I said, this video probably wasn't going to be really long. My fixings in general are not long videos. Sometimes they can be, but I just felt like I just wanted to get into it because Jeepers Creepers is like those first two movies are really good, and then it's just like they fucked it over, and it's just to a point. Yeah, it's a joke franchise now. So I figured, why not try to fix it? I think you can do it. I do think it's possible. I think you just go back to its roots, make the creeper scary again, have that jingle. You have a character, like I said, that main guy who knows about the creeper and is hunting it. And yeah, an atmosphere, because that first Jeepers Creepers actually had atmosphere. Even though it's in like a small little town, it had atmosphere. Even the scenes when in the end where they're like in the police station, I love that sequence. The second one had atmosphere when they were isolated. And that's the other thing I'm gonna say. There's definitely gonna be a sequence kind of like it's not gonna be on a bus, but like something like that, or the characters for a scene or sequence are gonna be isolated. I really like that about the second one. So yeah, but that's kind of all I really had. Figured why not just talk about this. I'll figure out what the next fixing will be later tonight. I will be talking why I don't like Miles. And a part of it really is just how much he's just being shoved down our throats now. I didn't necessarily hate him when he first was introduced, but then it's just gotten to the point where it's like you can't even have a Spider-Man anything without him being in it now. Like, that's what it's become. Like, if we're going to be real, he didn't need to be in Spider-Man 2, the game. He really didn't. There was no reason for his character to be in that game. That game should have been a Peter story. But no, they had to wedge that character in there because, to be honest, he shouldn't have really even been in the first one. It really made no sense looking back. I like that game, but Miles being in that game didn't need to happen. So, I'll be talking about that more later. But other than that, guys, talk to y'all later. Peace.